So in the case of analyzing the long run supply curve in case of constant costs, I have taken the firm's scenario over here. I call it figure 1, and this is figure 2, where I have taken the markets scenario. So now in the case scenario of firm, you guys can observe that the price is P naught, which is exactly the one that has been determined by market demand and market supply where they are intersecting. This is the price P naught. Firm is price taker, so the price prevalent in firm in case of the perfect competition will also be P naught, and the quantity supplied by the firm, the particular firm, is Q naught. However, the market supply is this much, like bigger Q1, Q naught. So now suppose there is an increase in the demand for blueberries, the market demand for blueberries increased, and you guys know when there is increase in demand, the demand curve will shift to the right hand side. So this is our new demand curve which is shifted upwards. Let's call it D1, D1. And this is the new equilibrium point, and let us examine what would be the price and quantity. So the new price, suppose we call this new price as P1, and the new quantity is Q1. Now since the market price has increased, so the price in the firm will also increase as firm is the price taker. So let us extend this price line towards the firm's price. So we can see that after extension we got the new price at firm. This price is P1. So at this price the firm is now the price in the firm has increased. Now there is a new point because now the profit maximization output will also change with the change in price. Now how to determine the profit maximization output? Let me tell you again. So the profit maximization output is determined at the point where MC is equal to MR, and you guys know in case of perfect competition, MR is nothing but the average revenue, which is equal to price as well. So this is the MR line, or we can say the AR line and the price line, all are the same over here. Now let us examine where the marginal revenue is intersecting the marginal cost. This is the point. That means at this point we will determine our let's call this point A, and the output will be determined. The profit maximization new output will be determined at this point. Let's find out how. So this is the new quantity, the new profit maximization output I have taken over here, representing it with small q1. Okay, now what is the scenario? You guys can observe the average total cost curve over here and the price curve over here. What do you observe? That price is more than the average total cost, which is the situation of profit. Now this profit will attract more firms to come enter the industry. That means more firms will enter and supply will increase, and an increase in supply is shown by the right hand shift of the supply curve. So the red one is the supply curve, let's call it S1, and this is the new equilibrium point, let's call this point B. Now at this new equilibrium point, you guys can observe that price remains the same, okay, but the quantity increases. If I join the point A and the point B, then I will get the new long run supply curve. So here is the new long run supply curve. I am denoting it by LRS. So you guys can observe that this is horizontal. What does a horizontal supply curve means in terms of elasticity? So that means it is perfectly elastic, means elasticity of demand is elasticity of supply is infinity, if you remember that. Now why it is perfectly elastic? You remember the time factor that has an impact on this elasticity of supply. So when we are considering the long run, okay, so supply is more flexible, but here in case of perfect competition, since firm is a price taker, so supply will be perfectly elastic. So that is why the supply curve in the long run is the horizontal supply curve.